Bill Johnson is set to take over as YSU's president next week, but a current trustee and a former university president are raising the alarm that the secret process used to hire Johnson could threaten the future of the entire school.
In a letter addressed to Governor Mike DeWine, former YSU President Leslie Cochran says 8 of the 9 trustees violated the duties of their office, and if they're not removed, the school could be stripped of its accreditation.
Leslie Huff spoke with them about the actions they believe need to happen to protect YSU from potentially dire consequences.
Well, in 6 days, Bill Johnson will begin his tenure as university president. But Cochran claims that the hiring of Johnson is a conflict of interest that could leave the university vulnerable.
YSU's 5th president, Les Cochran, says 8 out of the 9 Board of Trustee members violated 8 of the U.S. Department of Education's accreditation standards during their presidential search.
But it's clear that a vast majority were violating the code of ethics of the university and the accrediting association and the moral values that we all have.
In a letter penned to Governor DeWine, Cochran asks that he dismiss all board members who failed to disclose conflicts of interest, such as campaign donations, and failed to recuse themselves from the selection process. He's also asking for the resignation of any board members that were part of a predetermined plan to select Johnson, and invalidate the Board of Trustees' appointment of the president-elect and hold a new public national search. Cochran wants DeWine to name Molly Seals, the only board member to vote against Johnson, board chair.
He has a responsibility to the people of Ohio to make sure that things are done ethically, that there is no violations of ethics and integrity.
Molly Seals tells me she agrees that actions by some of the trustees could threaten the university's accreditation. But as far as appointing her as chairperson, she says she would prefer to speak directly with the governor before changes are made. Accreditation is an assurance that degrees given by a school meet high standards. When schools lose accreditation, they can close or offer degrees that are far less valuable. I reached out to the board president and the governor, but have not heard back. To read Cochran's full statement, check out the 21 News app. With more local news, I'm Leslie Huff.